Listen, SB with the truth, it might pierce your mind. And JP hit you with reality all the time. The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find. Conversation grown, opinions they not alone. Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
What's the deal, everybody? We in the building. It's Friday. Welcome to the Sean Brown Show with JP. I am your boy JP, and we in the building live here in Savannah, Georgia. Sean Brown is here, but he's not here today. He's taking care of the little one, baby Sage. So we're going to have a special guest coming in later on today. Hopefully he'll be in the building very soon. But until then, we're just going to keep this thing solo right now, man. A lot of things going on. Can't really explain everything, I guess. But big news in NBA. Savannah State, unfortunately, goes down in their MEAC tournament game to I even forgot who they played, golly, but their season is over. A very successful season, nonetheless. So congratulations to Savannah State for a very successful season. And, things look promising in Savannah State. Nobody, including me, thought that Savannah State would even get as far as they did. But, big ups to Savannah State and Coach Broadnax there at Savannah State campus and everything for a job well done. They were lost by 2 points. They were I don't know if they were favored in the game. I didn't look at the stats or anything like that. But big ups to them anyway. They despite the schedule they had off season and preseason and everything like that, playing four of the top 5 teams in the country non-conference. They did good for themselves. They came into conference, found themselves a stride. And it was good for them, man. A great product. If you've never been to a Savannah State basketball game, men's or women's, it's a great product. Nice environment. It's a MEAC environment. It's an HBCU environment. So it's whenever you get a chance, get out there and check out Savannah State because they have a good product. They have a great coach. They have a great fan base, and it's good. I can say I'm proud of them because they went somewhere where I didn't think they was gonna go. But, it's all good. Everything is wonderful, man. So congratulations to them on a great season. A lot of other stuff going on. ACC tournaments in full swing. Conference tournaments in general is in full swing. ACC last night, North Carolina comes out with a win. Duke wins against Notre Dame. It's Duke, North Carolina tonight, part 3. I'm a Duke fan. Me being a Duke fan, I think I'm going to be very confident in saying that my Blue Devils are going to beat North Carolina tonight. I think I can honestly say that. But, nonetheless, basketball is very good for college right now. A lot of other scores went on. Virginia beat Louisville 75-58. Kind of saw that coming. Virginia's the number 1 team outright in the country right now. So 29-2, 17-1 in the ACC, so they should have a clean run to the finals of the ACC tournament. Villanova beats Marquette in the Big East quarterfinal, 94-70. Mikal Bridges for Villanova, 25-8-4. That's a good stat line. Villanova's a really tough team, number 2 in the country for a reason. Xavier, another Big East quarterfinal. Xavier beat St. John's 88-60. As I said, Duke beat Notre Dame 88-70. In the ACC tournament quarterfinal, Kansas 25-7. They beat Oklahoma State in the Big 12 quarterfinal. North Carolina, as I said, number 12 North Carolina beat number 24 Miami 82-65, which ends Miami's season for now. I think they're going to get a berth in the NCAA tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see where they get seated at and where they get seated at. Another Big 12 quarterfinal, Texas Tech beat Texas without Texas's big man, 73-69. Texas 19-14, 8-10 in the Big 12 on the bubble definitely to get into the NCAA tournament. Texas Tech pretty much solidified their spot with 24-8 record, number 14 in the country, making it to the semifinals of their conference tournament. A lot of other conference tournaments going on. Arizona, number 15 in the country, beat Colorado 83-67. They're into the tournament. West Virginia, 23-9. Beat Baylor 78-65. Baylor 18-14 right now. I think they might be one of the first ones in, possibly. I don't know. They may be a semifinal appearance for Baylor, may have gotten them a little bit more solidified in the tournament, but it's going to be interesting to see what these bracketology people are talking about when it comes to seedings and who's actually in. Clemson beat Boston College 90-82 in the ACC tournament quarterfinal. Clemson's in 23-8, 11-7 in the ACC, 19th overall ranking in the country. And Nevada 27-6, they're in. They win 79-74 in the Mountain West quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. They beat UNLV 20-13, 8-10 in the Mountain West Conference. A lot of teams on this bubble right now need to put up some really big performances if they want to get in this tournament. This tournament is probably the biggest tournament in sports, to be honest with you. So it's going to be interesting to see what folds out. More games today, Friday the 9th of March. Cincinnati actually in progress right now in the American Athletic Conference. Cincinnati is beating SMU 8-3. Cincinnati is 27-4, number 8 in the country, number one seed in the American Athletic Conference tournament. Rhode Island in progress as well. They are tied with VCU in the A10 Men's Championship quarterfinal. That's taking place. I don't know where it's taking place at, but it's on NBC Sports Network. Rhode Island 23-6. They're basically in. VCU definitely on the bubble at 18-14. They need a win today. Alabama started out strong in the beginning of the season, 18-14. They're going to play number 16 Auburn in the quarterfinal of the SEC Men's Tournament today at 1 o'clock. So when we go off the air, Alabama and Auburn will be tipping off. Another Big East Men's Championship semifinal, Xavier and Providence. That's at 6:30. Virginia plays Clemson at 7 o'clock. Kansas State and Kansas, in-state rivalry, 7 o'clock today. Semifinal of the Big 12 Men's Championship Tournament. Wichita State and Temple play at 7 o'clock. Another. Speaking of Wichita State, friend of mine, if I can get him in the building, he should be here very shortly. A graduate of Wichita State, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna talk about that when he gets in. SEC Men's Tournament, Tennessee, number 13, Tennessee. Nobody saw Tennessee being as successful as they are. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not biased, but my first cousin, Jordan McCray, played for Tennessee, took Tennessee very deep in the tournament a few years ago. They're 23-7, so they're showing signs of a resurrection, so to say. Tennessee had went down after that graduating class had left with my cousin. So they went down a little bit, but they're showing signs of life, 13 in the country. So they play Mississippi State at 7 o'clock tonight on the SEC Network. Villanova and Butler, another Big East semifinal. And the big one, North Carolina Duke. That's the one right there. Number 12 versus number 5. Both of these teams are solidified into the tournament. Excuse me. Both of these teams are solidified into the tournament. They will be making the tournament. Marvin Bagley III versus Joel Berry II. It's going to be a good matchup at the Barclays in Brooklyn, 9 o'clock tonight, ESPN. I will be tuning in, please believe it, with my Duke attire on. I will be decked out in blue and white tonight to cheer on my Blue Devils to make it to the semifinal. Everybody's really thinking this is the marquee matchup of the tournament. So, because this may be the game to determine who will play Virginia in the ACC final. So, it's going to be interesting to see. North Carolina 11-7 in the ACC. Duke 13-5. Very even matchup. Duke likes to play that zone. I like the zone they play. It's not a basic 2-3 zone. It's kind of like a 2-3 zone extended, where the wings spread out and kind of stifle that swinging that ball. You know, if you swing that ball, you can get that defense moving. You can get open shots. But stretching out that 2-3 zone is that could be very difficult for a shooting team like North Carolina. North Carolina has a lot of shooters. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how Luke May does with Wendell Carter Jr. and Marvin Bagley III in the paint tonight. They split the season series 1-1. Each team won on their home floor. So that's 9 o'clock tonight, ESPN. Y'all tune in. Duke is favored by 4. The over-under being 156 points. Two high-scoring teams. Vegas says this is going to be a barn burner. As far as the offensive end, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot of defense being played, and you're going to have to work for your shots. You're going to have to work, so it's going to be interesting. But speaking of Duke, the recruiting class coming in, very, very good recruiting class, one including R.J. Barrett, the number 1 prospect in the ESPN 100. He has been named the 2018 Naismith High School Boys Player of the Year. Of course, he's going to do R.J. Barrett. Very successful season his senior year. He's going to be a threat in the ACC next year. North Carolina's losing Joe Barry and Theo Pinson. A few from Virginia are leaving. I think everybody's had a graduating class. Duke is only losing one player to graduation. We all know Marvin Bagley III is probably leaving to go to the NBA, possibly Wendell Carter as well. But it's going to be very interesting to see a lot of other stuff going on in sports. NBA news, Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors hurts his ankle last night in the game. He will not travel on their 2-game trip. Golden State, he turned the right hand. He turned his right ankle going up for a layup Thursday's game against the Spurs in the first quarter. So they ended up winning the game 110-107 over the Spurs. Steve Kerr said Curry would not play in Portland or in Minnesota. Portland's game is today or tonight for that matter. And they play Minnesota on Sunday, and Curry will not play either game. Draymond Green said with Steph's ankle injuries, it's always a worry, especially he's done it so many times where you can kind of tell immediately whether he can get through it or not by his reaction. Just by that reaction he had tonight, it's kind of a worry. So if his own teammates are a little worried, I don't know. Golden State fans, you might have something to think about moving on in the future. But I think he'll be good for the playoffs. I don't see him missing too much time. I guess it all depends on the severity of the sprain. So we'll see what happens. Somebody's at the door. Is that my guest? I believe so. If I could get somebody to go and get the door, because I can't get up. But yeah, you hear Sean in the background right now. So other NBA news: Derrick Rose reunites with his old coach Tom Thibodeau, Jimmy Butler, and Taj Gibson on the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's gonna be easy to see what Derrick Rose does coming in. I think my boy is coming in the building. I ain't seen this man in months. Seems like years. God, this man's so Hollywood. Oh my God. Golly, man. So on? Hollywood, man. Have a seat, bro. Have a seat. You in the middle, man. You in the middle? Man, the dude is in the building, man. It's the homie. Have a seat. Grab a mic, man. Talk to your boy a little bit, man. Call this one right there, man. We ain't here, bro. You got it on?
Yeah, it's on. Can you hear me? Mic check.
You
one.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Ain't nothing, man. Chilling, bro. I gotta do this, seeing that you're a guest. So this is a personal friend of mine. So I mean, I could talk off the dome, but I'm gonna be professional about it.
Okay.
Alma mater is Wichita State University. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll give him your name later for those that are watching. He's currently the primary drummer for Grammy Award-winning artist Estelle. For those of you who don't know, that's
the only
American boy.
The only drummer.
The only drummer.
You said primary, like there's alternates and stuff.
But
yeah.
So played with the Dog Pound, Compton's Most Wanted in the LA area.
All day.
Man, listen, that LA gig is nice.
All day, man.
All day.
All day.
Yeah, man. Let's see, what do we call it? Sponsored and endorsed by Mapex Drums, Regal Tip Sticks, Sabian Cymbals. No, you're at Dream now.
I'm with Dream.
Yeah, you're with Dream now.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Dream up in Canada. Shout out
man.
to Dream all day. Shout out to all of them.
Aquarian Drumhead.
All day.
Man, listen, I need yeah. But yeah, we all know he's a drummer. He's a proud U.S. Army War veteran. Passion for music is unparalleled, and we'll talk about that later. It's translated into making him an accomplished and much in-demand musician. Ladies and gentlemen, Radio Land, man, give it up for my boy Sean Bolden in the building. Let's go.
Thank y'all so much.
Here, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad to be here on the Sean Brown Morning Show featuring my boy JP. Is it called Sean Brown Morning Show or is it Sean Brown?
Sean Brown Show.
Okay, Sean
It's
Brown Show featuring JP. Yeah.
That LA West Coast and Midwest time got you messed up.
Man, I'm a fan. First off, I'm a fan. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to JP, man. I'm a big fan of this show, and anytime I get a chance to catch this show, man, I'm always like, cause y'all be talking about, you can watch sports shows, to the other networks. I'm not gonna say the network's name, of course, because I ain't trying to get sued or nothing like that. But I mean, you can watch those other networks, Jay, and it's cool, but it have to be scripted in some sense because of time and format and working in entertainment. You understand that, but what I like about y'all show is like you guys, you can get into those depth conversations and not be okay. We got to move on to the next. It's like okay, you know what I'm saying? And we talk about some stuff that a lot of sports fans, they have that that question they want to know about. Man, why it's so cold out here, man?
Man, I don't know, bro. I'm just glad I ain't up north. What is it? Northeaster, something another. Shoot, I don't know, bro.
Man,
I don't control that.
Man,
I heard you can make it manually now, but I don't control the weather and clouds and stuff like that.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. I just try to put a jacket on and keep it moving. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, man. That's what's up.
But nah, man, I'm glad you're here. I mean, I don't even know really talk about what y'all. I don't know if you want to talk sports, if you want to talk the business. I mean, what's going on with you?
Man.
You do got a show tonight though.
Yeah. So check this out. I got a show.
Oh, look who's brought his dome into the building. Gotcha.
Hey, man.
Are you even on? I can't even hear you.
Sorry about that.
Hey, how you doing?
Daddy duty does call, man. Got to take care of business. We're all fathers. Let's turn some lights on in here, man. Let's get a little lighter.
I'm trying to look for the show so I can live it so my fans and stuff can follow, man, so we can get a good, you know what I'm saying, so I can share it, go live.
Yeah, man, there's 5 ways to find the show. You can find us on speakingthemic.com, WQTSradio.com, Facebook Live at Sean Brown Show with JP. There's multiple ways to find the show, but we definitely want to get everybody in there, man. It's good to have you in the building, bro.
Man, I'm honored, man.
You done called us from Thailand. You done called us from California. Man,
everywhere.
The Sean Bolden brand rocks with the Sean Brown Show, JP. Man. We appreciate it, bro.
So having said that, what's up with the Sean Bolden brand right now? I know you had the Sean Bolden project about a year or so ago. It came out with a banger called Mr. Obama. Man, I love that song.
That was
dude.
in 08, man.
Dude, I love that song.
Yeah, 08. And man, I'm gonna re-release it. I got my own publishing now, and so currently that the record Mr. Obama, which I was inspired, that was co-written by my boy Roger Dowling, aka Bubba. We written that song in 08. I was just inspired by being the first African American president.
Oh yeah.
So I was inspired to do that joint, and I did it under another publisher. At the time, I wasn't educated on publishing, or I wasn't didn't understand it. But now being in the industry and working for about 4 years in the professional industry, I understand publishing now. Now I went and got my own publishing and got my publishing company, Sean Bolden Music. Shout out to BMI. So I'm gonna re-release Mr. Obama. I'm gonna release it under Sean Bolden Music.
Yeah, man.
And then after that, man, I'm working on a record. It's gonna be different, man. Working on my own joint. Like I'm gonna have some rap, some singing. Like it's gonna be different.
Trying to snoop it out.
It's gonna be like I'm gonna be like a rapper, drummer, jazz.
So it's like Travis Barker on crack.
Man, nah. Like Travis Barker.
Or Travis Barker not on crack, I should say.
Travis Barker like at 90 or something. Nah.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, that's what I'm working on, man. I'm also working on some records. I'm producing a record for a guy named Chill from Compton Most Wanted. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Compton Most Wanted. Chill and MC8.
I've heard of America's Most Wanted.
Big,
I've heard of
big LA.
So y'all remember MC8? He was the one.
Remember MC8?
Yeah. So that group, that's how I actually got started in the industry. I started playing with those guys, and I'm producing a record for him. It's getting ready to come out this year. And I also produced a record for a guy named Big Sam out of Wichita, Kansas. He just signed with Too Short, and so I just did that, and just been working. I'm trying to get my name out as a producer. I mean, everybody knows me as a drummer,
right?
But just the production side and music writing, that's where that's the direction I'm trying to, I'm really focusing. And drumming is always gonna be there, man. I've been drumming forever. Y'all know that. We're always gonna be musicians.
Right.
But I know that where the business is and where everything is transitioning is always writing and Tank call it mailbox money. That's what I want. I want to sit at home and get a check.
Exactly.
Royalties, gotta love it.
Yeah, man.
So what's is there any kind of, you said you were going over to producing and always being a drummer, drummer's in there. It's never going to go anywhere.
Right.
Was there any kind of difficulty trying to switch from a drummer's mindset to a producer's mindset?
Oh, most definitely. I'm still dealing with that. I I talked to one of my mentors, Harmony Samuels. Shout out to Harmony, produced for everybody, Ariana Grande, all the big songs you hear on the radio. 9 times out of 10, he's produced it. Really good friend. Reached out to him. Actually, I reached out to him at a church. He was a music director at this church, and reached out to him. I was like, man, you gonna mentor me, like straight up. And he was like, whoa. And we just been cool ever since, man. Took me under his wing, and he was like, man, I'm gonna tell you, most musicians and most drummers are the horrible producers.
Right.
And he said the reason why is because we're so thinking so complex. We're always thinking about trying to make the beat like so super like rhythmic.
Intricate.
And he was like, you got to remember that most people that's listening to music ain't listening to all that stuff. Like you know how we can dissect music.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I like how you.
I hit a fifth there. I see what you did with that.
Yeah,
riff.
and
they
so
just want it straight up.
and he said, so when you making music, radio music, especially pop music, R&B, it's simplified, and we broke it down. Like, I mean, it's difficult in a point where it's not like you can't do it, but your mind is so far of thinking of other stuff.
Right.
You can't. It's like going all the way back and doing boom, cut, boom, cut. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then less is better.
Yeah.
Learning that too.
Yeah, Coach Evans Davis, when he was here, used to say use the KISS acronym, keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
So
That's what he would tell JP, because JP was always late.
Oh, man,
JP been late since 2000. Everybody, hey, be here at 8. JP be here at 8:15.
Yeah.
And we good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's facts, man. That's what it is.
Some things don't change after all these years. I remember back in the day, man, we all used to ball together. Me and JP played ball, and Bolden played football on the basketball court.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, we all go back, man. We all go back.
It's true.
It's not. I'm not telling any lies.
It's true. I felt the brunt of it once before. Yes, I have.
Oh man.
I remember that, bro.
I remember specifically the day.
JP is high school, bro.
It was Sean Bolden in a Miami Heat LeBron James jersey.
All day. Shout out to LeBron.
And then as soon as LeBron got traded, first thing we said was, "Hey Bolden, you're gonna have to go buy a Cavs jersey now."
I'm gonna tell
As soon
you.
as he signed with the Cavs.
I gotta honest. I actually, for one day, Sean, y'all, I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna put it out there on the record. I was furious with LeBron. I actually was almost that close to burning my Miami Heat jersey.
Oh man.
Like, I was seriously so mad. You know how the guys were mad when he left Cleveland?
Yeah.
Right.
I was that mad. Nobody knew about it, though, because, of course, I ride with LeBron. But I was that mad. I was actually in my feelings.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I was like, I'm not LeBron. I'm done with LeBron. And I was just like, okay, who can I ride with now? Allen Iverson was gone. And I was just
ride
like,
with Wade County, man.
Right. So I like Wade, and I was like, well, I guess
go play dad duty real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. I was riding with Wade. I was like, I'm gonna ride with Wade, and I slept on it for a few days. That was in like 2014, man. And I was just like, I slept on it, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do my boy like that. I'm gonna go ahead and ride with these Cavs, man. But
the decisions in life.
yeah. So yeah, playing I love playing basketball, y'all, man. And everybody knows me, man. I'm like a football player that tries to play basketball, which usually, but I've actually gotten a little bit better, man. I'm a little older now, so I don't do the half the stuff that we all used to.
Right. You ain't running hard no more.
I mean, I run hard. Like I'm still be faster than you. That's already a given. But like, I'm not like running people over and doing all. I don't like. Honestly, even my wife was like, "Man, you be running people over and stuff, and like it's ridiculous." And just sometimes, but I enjoy it, man. Like I told you, man. Hey, the best 3-point shooter I've ever seen live in person is JP.
Oh man,
and that's real talk. Like I ain't gassing this man up, but one of the best like pure 3-point shooters I've seen ever.
That was before
live.
That was before this.
Oh man, we gotta
do something about this.
Hey man, I done lost weight, man. I weigh about 160 pounds,
Boy,
man.
I need P180X.
Oh.
I need P180, bro. I don't need P90.
Yeah.
I need to double that
man,
thing up, bro.
Just the diet, man. Yeah, I always tell you, man, you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm a lot of stuff there.
And yeah, it's always about your diet, man. But back to the music thing, man. Like I'm just doing.
I do
want
to ask you something while we're
Sure.
on the sports thing, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Wichita State, Kansas. Both your teams are in the tournament. You're a Kansas native, And you see, if you see him on Facebook Live right now and on YouTube, he's got his head down on the table.
Oh man, it's
if
hard.
you had to, if Wichita State and Kansas found themselves in the same bracket,
Okay,
this year,
I'm rooting for Wichita. That's easy.
Wichita
All day. That's my home.
Yeah.
I can stand on my mama's porch and look at the stadium.
Yeah,
That's how close to Wichita State I am.
right.
So I'm always ride for Wichita State, but after that, if Wichita State go, then that's who. If Kansas go, then that's who we're rooting for. You got some people in Kansas, they be like, "Nah, man, you either Wichita State or KU." Nah, man, it's Kansas, bro. So, we don't get a lot of talk.
Right.
So, anytime we're in any category of competitive play, I'm always gonna be ride. But Wichita State all day.
Yeah, your boy, what's his name, Fred VanVleet, had a big shot for Toronto the other night.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah.
I saw it, man. We actually getting some play time. My boy, you're a Knicks fan or Brooklyn fan?
I'm a Knicks fan.
Okay, yeah, my boy, Baker,
Yeah,
Wichita State. Yeah. So
Wichita State put out good players.
Yeah, man. They didn't turn it around, man. They really have turned it around, and we're gonna see what they do in this tournament, man. I want to see what KU gonna do in this Big 12.
Right.
It
was scary there.
We lost Azubuike. You see,
Yeah.
Azubuike was gone, and he's been dominating that inside. So
Yes.
he's gonna be an impact, and if we don't got him, man, that's gonna be that inside. I don't know. You got the other guy, but he ain't Azubuike.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
what's the name of the arena at Wichita State? Do you know?
it's actually they changed it. It's called Coke Arena.
Coke Arena.
Coke Arena is Coke built it. They rebuilt the arena, man. It's after Wichita State, did that turnaround and they went to the Final Four and they went that undefeated season.
Right.
It turned around, man. I guess the market, it's like that, man, with marketing and everything like that.
That leads me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Coke Arena, Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, Allen Fieldhouse is always gonna be lit, but man, honestly, man, I've never been in the new stadium at Coke Arena.
Really?
I've never been there, but my brother's been there. He said it's amazing, but man, you got like some of the best, stadiums or college basketball stadiums. Fieldhouse. You got y'all's Duke,
Cameron Indoor.
Yeah, and so there's nothing that's topping those. Man, Fieldhouse is like ridiculous. My sister went to a Fieldhouse game and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Nah, man.
So I asked that question. Let's get back to the industry for a second.
Okay.
I guess the status quo is endorsements. Everybody wants one. How important, as being an endorsed artist yourself, how important is it to have an endorsement? And is it like something a musician should put like number 1, number 2 on their to-do list to be an artist or a musician? Or is there something else that should go before that?
I would say endorsements have changed dramatically since social media.
Right.
Social media has pretty much changed the market on almost everything that you do. I mean, look at us now. We're going live.
Right.
I feel like I'm all the way back. I would say like endorsements is something that's great to have. It's really great to have an endorsement. It's at first when I was in the music, everybody has a dream to be endorsed, man. That's just, and people try to knock endorsements. No, that's like a basketball player saying they want to win a high school championship. They want to win a college championship. Musicians,
Right.
one of their goals is they want to have an endorsement deal. That's just something that we want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing about it is just trying to find what's gonna be what's best for you and that company, because at the end of the day, that company want to make sure that they can get something out of it.
Right. And that's an important thing to do, that the company that you're going to be endorsed by backs you. Because I hear there's a lot of people that I hear and I read on Facebook and Twitter and everything. Because, I mean, I thought for a minute, and we had this talk a while ago. We still have these talks today. Like, I want to be endorsed. Like, endorsement has been on my mind. But then to counteract that, the company that you want to endorse you really want them to back you up. And there's some people out here that have endorsements and the people don't back them.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's almost like a moot point to even be endorsed in the first place.
Yeah, man. I can say I got my very first endorsement was with a cymbal company, and I really was not educated on what an endorsement was.
I know who you're talking about. We'll
And
leave
so-
them nameless, though.
Right. And so thinking that, okay, well, I'm endorsed now, but that really wasn't what an endorsement was. It was just like, you just get like, there are certain levels to endorsements. I'll say it like that. Well, after becoming familiar in the industry, and as far as in being a musician, and rubbing shoulders with other people in the industry and performing, running across these people, man. You begin to build relationships. I always tell people endorsements is you always want to build a relationship with that company that you're interested in. That's number one.
Right.
Business people have relationships. It's not about what you do, how many times. I know guys, man. I got a friend, man, that's on tour. He was on tour with Jindena, Classic Man.
Right.
He was endorsed by anyone.
Wow.
You on a major tour with a major artist that's getting major radio play. It's changed, and so now, man, it's just you have to, build your relationship, and then once you make the relationship, you figure out for yourself what can you do to fit in that company that can make that company shine on the other end, make you shine at the same time.
Right.
Once you figure that out, companies will actually they understand that you're trying to work in both favors. If you go in there and say, I just want to get free stuff,
right,
and I just want to say I'm endorsed, they don't look at it like that.
Right.
And I try to tell some of the young musicians and musicians that's trying to be endorsed, you have to kind of, when you're trying to work out something with the company, you want to make it appear that you're trying to have them that it's going to work out for both parties.
Right.
And so I know with Mapex, it was more of a relationship thing with Mapex, and that was just a 1 year, I can say probably a year and a half relationship with them, just continuously talking, letting them know what's going on, what I'm doing. They saw that I was constantly working, with the Stell and doing some other stuff. And then they, finally after they like, yeah, man, we want to bring you on. And, and the good thing about it is all my endorsements that I got, man, I haven't paid a dime.
Right.
That's the other good thing about it.
Right.
My Mapex Saturn kit, they paid for the shipping. They shipped me my own kit. They my cymbals through Dream Cymbals, man. When I went to they actually let me pick my cymbals up at NAMM.
At NAMM, yeah.
Usually that doesn't work like that, but the relationship was there. The body of work was there. My drum head company is there. It just what you do, how you present yourself professionally.
Right.
That's what them companies want to see. They want to see also your social media. It's unfortunate in some ways. They want to see what your following is like.
Right.
Are you your brand going to be seen?
Yeah.
If your brand isn't going to be seen.
Yeah, because endorsers are not really. They're not prone to endorsing somebody who doesn't really have an active gig, I guess, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, I know church drummers that got endorsements for being in church, but yeah, their church probably seats about 25 to 3,000 people.
Right.
You're going to be seen by a lot of people every week.
Right.
So, you mentioned social media, and I want to ask you this. I see a lot of drummers hashtagging companies. Does that work?
It does work. Hashtagging, when I'm putting up music on there, I'll hashtag music, hip hop, whatever I'm doing, because usually a lot of people look into that and go, oh,
right,
them hashtags for some odd reason works. It just puts it in that feed.
Right.
So hashtagging always works, man. And I'll say this to anybody, you're looking for endorsement. Sean said he want to know if he can get an endorsement deal for the show. I don't know what y'all, maybe some. Man, shout out to Westone. Hey, here, hold on, Sean. I got one for you. Westone In-Ear Audio. That's who my in-ear audio company is through. So, man, maybe Westone is, if they on here, they can see, Sean Brown Show featuring JP. Might get some speakers or some headsets or something like that, man. Shout out to them, But
we'll take it,
did that for you, Sean. But, yeah, just if you're trying to get an endorsement deal, like, make sure you hear your body of work is good. At least, somewhat you're actually being seen, you're being shown. Make sure you got your own press kit, your bio. You got all that ready. So if somebody asks you, you got a bio, you got some headshots, you got some link of your work. You got, man, here you go, bam, it's on a zip file already. Right. Like right now, if somebody hit me up and say, I got it on a zip file on my phone, ready to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you just want to take some time to do that and build that up. Yo, Robert Sanders is online.
Rob, what's up, brother?
And if you want to do that, you just build your professional, man. Professionalism will take you a long ways. And now it's like these companies, good relationships, man. Take me and my wife, we have dinners and they bring us out and we have company dinners and they invite her and it's like a family thing.
Right.
And so man.
And the family thing is going good for you. I mean, I know your family personally. Those are like nieces to me.
Right.
Your daughters. Shawnee's big in the acting thing. Patrice is talented musician. Going places with the music.
Yes.
Jada has.
It's Jada. Shout out to my kids. You know, it was International Women's Day yesterday too. I forgot to make a shout out. Shout out to all the women out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to your wife, man. Shout out to Sean Brown's wife and everybody wife on here that's on here looking, man. Shout out to women in general.
Yeah.
But the family's doing great, man. My kids are musical. My daughter's in the honor band. Shanice is a clarinet player.
Right.
And then Patrice, she's an upright bass player and she's a singer.
Man, that's not easy.
It's not, man. And she's an honor student in AP classes. And we already talking about colleges now, man. She's about to be a junior next year.
Man, that's crazy.
So that's going good, man. Like everything in general when it comes to, you know, can I say I'm playing tonight, y'all, in Savannah, Georgia.
We're going to get to that.
Oh, okay. I know sometimes I can ramble, man. and forgive me, y'all, if I ramble. I'm just excited to be here, man. This is like my second home. I lived here for 13 years. 12 years I lived here. And so this is like when I get a chance to be here, which I don't get a chance to be here often. It's like I get all giddy and all excited because I don't get to be here.
I know you. I sat there and I watched your snap. And you passed my Waffle House and had a fit.
Oh man. I had them cheese eggs. I had a cheese eggs and a T-bone.
Boy, no, you didn't.
Yeah, man.
You big now. You can get that T-bone though.
Yeah, man.
You big now. So you mentioned you used to live here, and we used to share ministry together at Brandon Hart's church.
Right.
Shout out to Pastor Roche.
Shout out Pastor K.
Yeah. So you were on drums. I was playing organ. Great days. I love those times, man. I almost really want somebody to come and play drums now so I can jump back on organ because I miss it so much.
Yeah, man.
But the branching out, take us through the process of being here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say Savannah getting stale, but the process of outgrowing the city. Take us through the thought process, the mindset of what you do when you think you've, whether it be fact or not, outgrown the city and it's time to move on to something else.
I don't know if outgrowing the city is the wording I would say. Because
opportunities here have gotten kind of
because I think
you've done everything already.
Yeah, it's like if you feel like you reached a peak into what you're trying to do in a certain area, it feels like you need to just expand and go somewhere else where you can. I mean, I don't know, man. It was, of course, I was a cop here in Savannah, and so I love that job. It's the best job in the world. If I wasn't doing music or entertainment, I would be a cop now.
Right.
Like, seriously, we all know that. I don't know what I'd be doing. I probably wouldn't be doing in patrol or anything like that. I'd probably be doing something else. But I got to the point where I felt like, when I lived in Savannah, I did the jazz festivals. I did play with the artists. I did that here, which I felt like that was like my thing here in Savannah, was the jazz thing. I just got to the point where I felt like there was more, but it just wasn't here for me.
Right.
And I was getting frustrated. I mean, you can even tell when I was at the last, maybe year or so at the church, I was more frustrated. And sometimes my frustration carried over to other people, which wasn't intent. But I was just frustrated musically because I knew where I wanted to be. Yeah. I knew where I saw myself, but I just couldn't. You
were stifled.
Yeah, man. And I had a good conversation with my boy, this guy named Jiren Cox. I can never forget him. Man. Big shout out to Jiren.
That's my son's goddaddy,
man.
Shout out
I'm
to
gonna tell you, nobody knows this, man, but Jiren, we talked at church before the service was started, and he just I said, man, Jiren, I need to do something. I just feel like I'm not what the gift that I got. I just feel like it's not going nowhere where I'm at. It just feels like it's not
right.
He was like, man, you got to get out of here, man. And he was like, you either gonna go to Atlanta or you need to go to LA. You need to go and get your wings and fly and get into that. I'll never forget that. And he was like, man, you just got to do it. He said, I promise you, get out there, you grind, something's gonna happen.
Right.
And it was like I had been figuring out if I wanted to do it or not, and it was like Jiren was like a confirmation.
Right.
He was like, man, you just need to do it, man. Just go out here and do it. And Jiren hadn't even lived in LA, but he told me what to do. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to do it. And, I changed my career from law enforcement to working at, at a corporate regular store.
Right.
So I can set myself up to transfer or whatever like that. And I did that, man. And I pretty much just put all my focus on what I wanted to do.
Right.
As far as in that. And once you do that, I just took that and ran, man. And, I moved out to LA, and of course now you're starting from the bottom.
Right.
Nobody knows who
As
you
soon as
are.
You gotta start all over.
Nobody
again.
knows that you can play. You get the boring gigs that nobody wants. Of course.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you said boring gigs,
Mhm.
man, because I used to have this stigmatism bad.
Mhm.
Like, I would get gigs with people, and I know going in that this gig is gonna be whack. I already knew it because I've already seen the person's product,
Mhm.
what they put forth. But I looked at it as, okay, well, I'm going to go get a check.
Right.
So I'm going to go get paid. So let
Mhm.
me just go ahead and grin and bear this 2.5, 3 hours, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And you actually said something to me on the phone, and then I heard it from somebody else.
Mhm.
I heard it from Eddie Hayward, a friend of mine in
Beast.
New York.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
He said, look at every gig like you're playing at the Apollo.
Spud told me the same
And
thing.
he said, and he used the Apollo because the Apollo is like the most famous theater ever.
Yep.
So it doesn't really necessarily matter how many people you're playing in front of. You can play in front of one person.
Yep.
And that one person could be a CEO of a company, but you'll never know that.
Yep.
Is just like you said, conducting yourself with professionalism, acting like you want to be there, be professional about your stuff, be professional about your gear. Don't go up there with broken down stuff. I had that too because I thought I had to have the highest price stuff and the big Sabian AAXs, and you have to have all that stuff. Man, there's so much stuff you can find in little mom and pop shops and pawn shops, but it's the look that matters. Because if you look bummy, they're gonna take you as a bum. They're gonna take you as bummy. I mean, no matter how good you play, what's the saying they say? You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Exactly.
So it's stuff like that. So I always thought of it like and I'm stumbling over words because I got so many thoughts
you're
right
good.
now.
You're good.
But yeah, always play like you're playing in front of somebody important. No matter how much you're getting paid, because you could be getting paid $50 tonight.
Yep.
And you can get a phone call 2 days later,
Right.
and you're playing for $1,000 the next week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So I just said that, but the process of you leaving, let's go back to that. The process of you leaving and gaining your wings and flying and stuff like that. What was I know a lot of things had to go to your mind because uprooting.
It was very hard.
Lanye and the girls and everything, and
Very
moving to
hard.
somewhere you don't know. You actually went by yourself first, right?
Actually,
and then
no-
came back, or did you all go together?
No, my wife actually went and checked. She actually went and stayed a week and found our place and did everything before I'd even went.
Right.
But the thing about it is number one, if you got a fam, like the good thing about it, I was in the military, so the military got me used to. It put me out, it got me out of Kansas, and I moved out here, and so being uprooted wasn't an issue.
Right.
It was just different now having kids, but
And I'm in that same boat now because I got 3 just like you.
yeah. We used to have family meetings at my house.
Right.
Every Sunday, we used to have family meetings. A year prior to us moving to LA,
Right.
we had family meetings. Okay, this is what we want to do. What are the things that you want to do, Shanice? What are the things you want to do, Patrice? Jada was just give me McDonald's, and
That sounds about right.
and so we used to have these meetings, and we was like, look, this is where we want to go. And I told my wife, you have to have a plan.
Right.
Anybody that want to go somewhere and do something, as men, you always got to have a plan to show to your significant other, your wife, your spouse, or whatever. You
don't
always
have
want to
anything to
have a
worry about.
plan to say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And this is and this is that. This is this. This is that. So when those questions come up, well, how we right here.
Right.
But if you don't have that, I know with women, if you ain't got a foundation, if you ain't got nothing like
Right. A sense of
they're
security.
not about to. We ain't
Right.
uprooting nowhere. You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But and it's good for you too because you actually know what you want to do.
Right.
So once I did all that, we figured out what I wanted to do. All right, we planning for it. This is when we want to move. This day, we want to move on this date. All right, now we got to put the house up for rent. We got to do this. We got to do, and we just planned it out. So it was just, in order. It was
Right.
a transition that was easy. And once we got the date locked in and all that, man, we packed up that house
Right.
with no movers.
Wow.
And I got a Penske truck, bro. I can remember the night. The night before, we went to Cookout. Shout out to Cookout.
$4 cookout.
I went to
trip,
Cookout that night and went and picked up my Penske truck. We came back, ate. loaded my whole house in that Penske truck
Right.
by myself with my kids, of course, taking breaks every 2 minutes. And then did that, loaded it up, went to sleep on air mattresses that night, got in the truck. And now, we had 2 cars.
Right.
So my wife drove the truck, and I had the Penske truck, the big one, the biggest one they have, the Penske truck with all of our stuff. Plus, I was pulling another car.
Right.
Drove cross country. This is how bad I wanted it, y'all. We trying to tell people, if you want it, you can get it. Don't let other stuff like diminish you because you I don't think it's going. You don't know.
Right.
You're gonna always make a mistake.
Right.
So you just gotta learn from it and know how to just recoup from that. Man, we got in that car and drove and didn't look back. Like, we love you, Savannah, but it's just something we got to get out of here.
We got to move on.
And we did it, man. And we was like, wow, we talk about it to this day, man. Remember when we did that?
Right.
Remember that? A lot of people won't have the guts because they like, oh.
Yeah, they're scared. They're scared to step out.
Right. And then when we moved out there, my wife had to quit her job because of the simple fact of the school schedule and what I was doing and everything like that. So, some things changed, of course, because she wasn't having an income.
Right.
And that was difficult, but we didn't let that stop.
Right.
So you got to put the fear aside and just stop thinking about what won't happen and think about what will happen.
Right.
And it will work with anything you want to do, not with, music, acting, sport, anything that you want to do. Sometimes you got to go somewhere to get yourself set up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you went from LA and now you're in San Antonio?
Yeah, man. I'm in. Just it's a temporary thing. We're in San Antonio, but we're actually that I'll talk about that off mic. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we right there. We with our in-law. Well, we live in the same city with our in-laws, so that's pretty cool now. Okay. So, but I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm gonna say, I guess,
temporary resident.
Yeah, we just live there, but most of the music that I do is never there. It's always somewhere else. But yeah, that's wrong.
So you've been all out. We got about 13 minutes left.
Oh man, I've been rambling.
Yeah, Sean said, "Tell us what it was like to surprise your mom at Disney on ABC."
Oh yeah, it was great because my mom is like a church woman.
Yes.
Sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized.
Yes.
All that, Yeah. So I had to lie to her and be like, yeah, Mom. So there, because I was adopted. My mom adopted 6 of us, and so 6 of us, and so she adopted us. And I had told her, I said, they're doing a conference in Orlando for adopted parents that adopted, and you got chosen, so they're gonna fly you out there.
Right.
So they flew her out there. ABC flew her out there. And she was just like, I don't know what's going on, but they flew me out to Florida. She didn't know we was coming. We was on there talking. I was talking on her phone. She thinking I'm in LA, but I'm actually like the next room over. And it was amazing, man. See my mom, just trying to, that was just a surprise. It was great because I got hooked up with a producer from ABC, and he was like, we're doing this story, and, we ran across your stuff and wanted to see if I was like, yeah, man. And it was, she deserved that, man, because she took us in. But that was amazing.
Yeah, I watched it, man. I was like, oh, man, that is so dope, man. Because your mom is a great person, bro.
Oh, man. Shout out to my mama. I don't know if she's online. Shout out to mama.
Yeah, she's a great woman, man. Every time I got a chance to see her when she was here, when she would come to Savannah, man, it was like, man, hi, Mom. I was kind of like, hey, how you doing? You never see somebody. If you don't see a person a lot, you really don't know how to react when you actually see them.
Right.
You just give them a big hug, and then it's just like, yeah, okay,
yeah.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
So it's like, she's a great person, man. So,
yeah, man, I appreciate it. That was dope. Oh, my brother's on here. Hey, brother, Arthur. My Arthur Fair, my oldest brother, man. Shout out to Arthur Fair, Salina, Kansas. Yeah, shout out to him. He's a big dope car salesman out there in Salina. Anybody out in Salina, in Wichita area, go see my brother Arthur Fair. Shout out to him.
Right.
My boy Rashard Ellis. Oh man, yo, what's up, Rashard? But yeah, man. I see Robert on here. I'm playing a show tonight.
Yeah.
Here at Good Times Jazz. I see Good Times Jazz Club
Bar and Restaurant.
Yeah, it's down there on Broughton Street. I'm playing from 8 to 11 with one of my best bros, Eric Jones. It's going to be great. I'm a featured artist tonight from 8 to 11. I'm going to try to go live with that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go through there, too. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my setup where I need to be at, and then I'm going to swing over there. Well, I don't know swing. I might have to catch me a pedicab, bro, for real, because this walking ain't the gimmick, bro.
Oh man, you better do it with this weather nice.
It ain't nice.
Yeah, you better
It's
do it.
cold out here, Doc. It's cold.
But yeah, man. But I'm doing that tonight. So anybody in Savannah area, come out 8 to 11. I think it's like a $5 charge. They put it on your bill, but I mean it's $5. You're gonna get really some great music.
And good food too.
Good
That
food,
there,
and
man.
you know, come early so you can get a seat. I'm 9 times out of 10 it's probably gonna be like sold out or packed.
Right.
And I'm doing that. And this month I'm doing my clinic tour.
Yeah.
Is this month. So
I'm Sam Ash tour.
Yeah, like I'm doing Sam Ash. Let's see, I go to Kansas. Shout out to Wichita, Kansas. I'm going to Midwest Drum and Percussion. I'm doing a free drum clinic there. All my drum clinics are free.
Right.
I'm charging nobody for no drum clinics. You know, just come out, get some good music, get some good insight on music and stuff like that. So I'm doing that every week. I'm in Kansas. I'm in Phoenix. I'm in Cleveland.
Right. You gonna go catch a game?
I want to. They play Phoenix that weekend, so I just hope LeBron don't sit down that game. I'm gonna be mad.
That's a win, man.
And then I'm going to South by Southwest next week. I'm in South by Southwest. I'm playing with Doobie, Joy the drummer, and my boy Sput. Sput called me and put me on that. Shout out to Sput, man. Looking out for me. So got a busy March, man. And then April.
This March, man, this for real.
Right. And then April, I go to Singapore with Estelle. And we're doing the Jazz Fest out there with us, Lauryn Hill and Layla Hathaway.
Oh, yeah. Man.
So, man, shout out, man. God is
good.
good.
Are you going to mark out at the Layla Hathaway concert?
Man, I don't know if we're going to get the chance to hear him because we got to do the late show, and I think we got to get to the airport. Sometimes I think Layla's performing. I don't know if she's performing like in the same.
Right. I
think it's going to be one of those. We do the show, we play it, and then after
get out.
And then it's like, all right, y'all, we got to go.
Right.
Or we get there like on the 5th, so I'll have like so much time. But I hope, man. I want to see Lauren, and I want to see like Spank and them boys, kill that.
Yeah, Spank is with Lauren now. I forgot about it. I don't know why I was still thinking he was with Gaga for some reason.
Nah, Johnny Good and
what's another one of our boys, man, that's out there doing it.
Oh yeah, shout out to Johnny Good. His new record just popped out a couple weeks ago. Y'all go get that. Johnny Good, Johnny Triple OG. That's my boy. Shared the stage with him many times. Played keys for him when he started his career out in LA. That's my boy. We was cops together.
Right.
So he's doing his thing, man. Shout out to Jay Good.
Yeah, man.
Urban 60s Records. Yeah, all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there with y'all one day. I just gotta go ahead and take that, put my foot out there and just go ahead and fall and like spread my arms out.
Oh yeah, man. And you never know what you just gotta examine everything, man. Make sure you there's something here that you might be missing. It might be like, wait. I might not need to move. Maybe it's here. It's under my nose and I don't even see it. I always tell people that too. You never know. Sometimes it's a situation here that you just don't see, and you're like, oh. But most deaf, man, do what you gotta do, man. I support you all day.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. I can. That's the one thing I can say about Sean. The reason why he's my boy, I can call him anytime. It doesn't matter. We've talked 2:00 in the morning before. We've talked 12:00 in the afternoon before. And like just so much stuff. Like I'm sitting here talking to you now on the show, man. And I'm like, at one point I almost forgot I was doing the show because I was taking in all the knowledge and stuff. Because I mean, it's good to have people like this, like, relationships and stuff like you mentioned earlier. It's so good to have somebody that we grew up together, man. We was young, like 24, 25. We was young, and now I'm like 35, going on 36. Who's this guy?
Oh, this guy comes back to that.
Daddy
duties.
Hey, 6 minutes.
Hey, man, I respect that.
6 minutes before the show is over.
I had to make a slide back in. The boss is watching from over at Savannah State, so I got to put this.
Marcus Graham.
We got to get you.
What's
out
happening?
There. We got to get you out to Savannah State to do a clinic, man.
Man, hey, reach out to my manager. No, I'm just. No, right now, hey, well, I'm sooner or later, man. I'm gonna have to get one. I was talking to my wife. I'm going. It's just too much going on.
Okay.
And I can't handle all what I got going. I'm so serious. I'm not saying that to be bougie or anything like that, but it's a lot of blessings. A lot of things are happening, and I'm gonna need some management. You know what I'm saying, to handle all that. But I'll come out to Savannah State and do one, no doubt. Like
that's the boss right there checking in.
Who's that, Mr. Graham?
That's Marcus Graham, director of bands.
Mr. Graham, what's going on? Oh yeah, most def, man. Hey, I'll come out there, man. Mr. Graham, just bring me on out. I'm there. I am there. You can DM me, get all my information on there or Instagram.
Yeah, what's your
Instagram?
social media tags? Let them know that before we go.
Social media. I am Sean Bolden is on Instagram. I am Sean Bolden, or you can go to Facebook and just put in Sean Bolden.
Twitter.
Twitter @Bolden82. I think that's it. Yeah.
You got Black Planet?
Oh man.
MySpace.
Oh man.
MySpace?
I try to go in my MySpace the other day just because there's some pictures in there, bro, like some old pictures.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, but I can't get in there.
Right.
I don't know. They reformatted that whole thing.
Man, they probably locked everybody out purposely.
So yeah, MySpace was it, man. That's why I put my tracks on there. Like MySpace. I had a song called MySpace.
Man, I can't even deal.
Hey Sean, you want to tell them about the time I got crossed?
Which time?
It's only one. This guy, John, tell him. It's only been one time. I'm usually a great defender.
A defender or a tackler?
I'm a defender, man. But I
Sean
don't even
Bolden
remember.
He's
Sean
suffocating,
Bolden is an
dude.
open field tackler.
I just remember that one time that I don't remember what Sean said. I got crossed so bad that my ankles probably stayed, and I was on the other.
Yeah. I remember
It was that bad, huh?
It was bad. It was bad. It was terrible. It was a done it up moment.
Oh no!
It was bad.
It wasn't as bad as James Harden or Kyrie Cross, was it?
No.
No.
It wasn't that bad.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
What the hell was
It
that?
wasn't that bad.
It was bad. It was bad though. It was bad.
He's enamored by my sound. This soundboard gives me life.
Oh yeah, man. But no, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the Sean Brown show featuring
It's
JP.
a morning show in LA.
You know,
I mean,
Yeah, it is.
so-
9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like shout out to y'all, man, for even letting me come on the show and talk. And like I said, come out tonight, you guys. Come to a Good Time Jazz Club, Bar and Grill or restaurant. I don't know if that's what they call it, but
yeah, Good Times Jazz Bar in Broughton Street down in Savannah. Y'all make your way out there and support Sean Bolden tonight. Eric Jones is also performing. It's a cancer survivor as well. When I started
Yes,
talking about Eric, I was like,
absolutely.
okay, I gotta get hurt. I gotta get the baby calmed down so I can get out here and put this plug out there. Eric's a good dude. He's been through a lot. But he's a phenomenal pianist.
God, man.
yeah, he's one of my best. And the good thing about with Eric, he's like a really good friend because he's a good friend would tell you stuff that you don't want to know, like you don't want to hear.
You don't want to hear.
But he's like honest, like yo, you need to straighten up, you need to tighten up, bro. And so that's the good thing about what I like about Eric. And when Eric had that conversation with me one time, it kind of made me uncomfortable because I was like, man, we homies, and what you telling me all that stuff?
Right.
Yes, that's how
But
you have
it
to be.
made me like, wow, this dude really is like my dude. You know what I mean? Because he was like, we friends, man. I'm gonna tell you this because we friends.
Yep.
And I ain't got nothing but love for that guy, man.
A true friend never sugarcoats what needs to be said.
And if some of
because
these
it's a respect level.
some of these artists, man, they get some of these no man and stop getting all these yes man. Maybe they careers. That's another subject on
We would
another
stop
day.
hearing hubbada.
I don't know. That's
triple.
actually the move right now. That's the wave right now. But I'm
rapper.
just saying, like some of these artists that's really just trying to figure them out. They kind of lost their way. If they get some guys, if they get some real friends that actually would tell them like, nah, bro, no man,
Chill out.
Like that
like,
ain't
no,
it.
this is not it, sir. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. And I'm gonna be your friend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think Oprah has no men, no people. That's why she's,
Yeah.
Stedman.
you know, I think,
Stedman's no man of the decade.
yeah, I think a lot of the successful people, I think they actually had no man that still was successful because they had people say, nah, bro.
We know LeBron does.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm sure LeBron, there's
I'm a
plenty of
no man.
times when LeBron would have like a tweet ready to send out or Instagram ready to send out, and his PR person goes, "Hey,
You know what I want to hear? I want to see LeBron. Everybody's mamas get interviewed. Never LeBron's mama. I wonder why. I want to hear what she got to say. They'll interview Shaq's mama.
There's gotta be a
They'll interview Kevin Durant's mama.
It's got to be a good
But
reason.
I want to hear from Mama LeBron. Like, can we get Mama LeBron just to talk about some stuff? I just want to know. Like,
I would think the reason would be if you remember back in the playoffs when he had to tell his mom to shut up and sit down.
oh yeah, because she got in
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett's. Yeah,
So it's got to be a reason.
yeah, yeah, man.
It's got
Gotta be.
a
You never
legitimate
know.
reason.
I mean, I hate to end the show. We got to talk. We ended it on LeBron.
Hey,
Oh, can I get a pick though?
Go
Who y'all
ahead.
think gonna win? I already know who you think. Who you think winning the NCAA championship? Or let me see. Who you think is gonna win the NCAA championship, and who's gonna be? You think is gonna be the surpriser team that's gonna get eliminated first?
Duke's going to be eliminated first.
He would say that.
Okay.
But I think a mid-major's going to win it.
No,
The whole thing?
No.
I'm thinking a mid-major's going to take the whole tournament.
Okay.
No.
It's time for it's a Cinderella year.
If I have to pick a team to win it all, Virginia's flawless right now. Virginia is.
I get that.
Virginia is clicking on everything right now.
For
any
me,
given day. Perfect example. Look at Savannah State last night, man. In the conference tournament, 58-56. Both the men and the women lost on a 1 or 2 point game. They could have won the game at the buzzer, but they didn't come to play. If you don't come to play, you come to lose.
yeah, that's true.
But you want me to give you a team that might lose early? You talking about like a mid-major
Other than
team?
Duke?
Like, we're not gonna lose early, sir. You gotta pray. Y'all got to pray just to get in.
I don't.
I see West Virginia going out early.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even see them even making the second round.
Yeah, they haven't been a force in a while.
But I just feel that in the NBA, in the NCAA championship or the Final Four, the Elite Eights, it's always been a team that's been there before.
Yeah,
True.
you're gonna have those.
True.
So the thing about it is with Virginia, even though they nice during the regular season, that bracket is putting that pressure on you, and you don't know, you have never been there. It's like being in foreign land. You ain't never been there before. Yeah. So a lot of times, especially with the young players, they're gonna panic. Oh man, I don't know what to do. Can they live in the moment? Can they actually deliver?
Right. But see, that's more on the coaching staff to get in there and get the guys on understanding that at the end of the day, yes, you're on a different playing field, but the court's still the same size, the rim is still the same height, the free throw line is still the same distance.
Exactly. I think Virginia is going to get eliminated, bro. And the only reason why I say that is because it's just it's different from the regular season. It just really is. I think you're going to see North Carolina's there. I think you're going to see your Dukes there. If we don't get Azubuike back, I don't think we're going to go. I think Wichita State got an opportunity, and I also think Villanova. There ain't anybody talking about Villanova, but they've been there.
I mean, Villanova is the number 2 scoring team in the country.
Exactly.
You know who the number 1 team is?
Is it North Carolina?
Nope. No, Savannah State University.
Oh wow.
The number 1 scoring team in the
country.
Man,
why you feel like
hater of the year over here?
I'm not a hater, man. Did you hear the beginning part of the show?
But the thing about it is, man, this Savannah State, like you hear, like even though they're not playing in it, I will root for Savannah State just because they're not in a big conference. Like it ain't going against Duke. You still gonna like I'm a
Power 5.
I'm a still Wichita State fan, KU fan, but I'll root for Savannah State just because they're not on ESPN top 5 or Sports Center's,
but they have been on top 10
last week.
Yeah, but like they're not being talked about. Right. And so that's a good reason to root for them. Cause like, hey man, wait, hold on.
Yeah, I come to the games and root for them.
The
I definitely do.
Don't get enough love.
Now the football team, that's another story. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, well, watch this year. They're coming around.
They say that every year though.
No, last year they won 3 of their last 4. This past season, they won 3 of their last. Yeah, the soundboard is real. They won 3 of their last 4 this past season. They should have won 6 games, but it's a big turnaround coming up.
Okay, Savannah State.
Yeah, basketball's turning around, dude. Definitely.
And I'll tell you this: women's basketball did something that nobody expected. I'm gonna be dead honest. They were 1-15 coming into the tournament, and they went to the second round of the conference.
Yeah,
tournament.
they upset
they upset Norfolk State. They should have upset FAMU.
Are they? Is Savannah State in the tournament at all?
No. Not in the NCAA tournament. They're gonna make the men's team will make a postseason tournament. It'll probably be the college insider tournament. But they lost yesterday. Well, no, Hampton has the bid for the NIT. It was they were the MEAC regular season co-champions. Three-way tie between Savannah State, Hampton, and Bethune-Cookman. Hampton got the number 1 seed, so they got the bid for the NIT. But if they win the tournament, then they go to NCAA. Bethune automatically gets the NIT bid.
Okay.
Unless something magically happens and Bethune can't take it, Savannah State goes to the NIT. But at the end of the day, they got a trophy. Mm-hmm. They got a banner.
And then
they got rings.
Being talked about. And that's all. Season. Yeah, that's man. Shout out to Savannah State. I used to work in Savannah State.
Mm-hmm.
We know presidential security. I used to laugh at you every time I came out of halftime.
Shout out, Dr. Doze is still out there.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Dr. Doze. I'm gonna stop. I ain't got nothing left. I almost dropped this mic.
Y'all son.
Shout out to Dr. Doze. They get a president every 2-3 years.
We need another one. That's all I'm gonna say. We need another president.
I come and be president at Savannah State.
Somebody can do better. Somebody without 6 bodies.
Man, what?
Whew. Yeah, see?
No, I don't know about that one. She got to have security, so, But
the only president to get on ESPN and start lying.
No, they ain't the
only
only
But I digress.
They ain't the only president. There's one above her.
Look, what did I done started?
I could go on about Dr. Dozier all day.
Oh.
Let me stop. My boss is watching, too.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Savannah State though, yeah.
They doing big things, man. They doing big things. Gotta rep.
All day, man.
Folks, we are way over our time, but don't
For
forget,
real.
folks, y'all gotta make sure you stick with us over the week. Stay tuned to our social media platforms. I will be out of the studio for the next 2 weeks. JP will be holding it down, but I will be giving a nice video blog of my time and my experiences as I go through service dog training down in Tampa.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna get my
Service dog.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. Shout out to everybody, all vets, that's, doing that, getting the service dog and helping them out. And I commend that. Like, man, sometimes I think I need a service dog.
What they say, I mean, it's it's something that the VA is still looking into, but they say it's one of the best treatments for what we went through. And it's just, it's unknown. The VA is always skeptical and last about everything. So, but it's a blessing to get this opportunity. I had the waiting list was 18 months long. I made it in 8 months. So it's a blessing.
That's awesome, man.
So I'm excited.
And then, your daughter, she's going to like the doggy, right?
Yeah, speaking of, I got to get back to her in a second.
Okay.
But she's watching cartoons right now.
Oh, man.
Bye-bye, everybody.
But no, that's awesome, man. But, hey, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Hey, man, we appreciate you stopping by the studio, bro.
Oh, man, it's all. Anytime I come to Savannah, I'm coming by.
Hey, let us know. Just say the word.
I'll come by, man. We talk sports.
Yeah, man. We in here.
Just say the word. Folks, this has been the Sean Brown Show with JP and Sean Bolden in studio, drummer for Grammy Award winner Estelle and Jesse Smollett, by the way. Got to put that out there. Empire on deck. But we'll see y'all on Monday. JP will see y'all on Monday. I'll be on video checking in sometime. This has been the Sean Brown Show from the East Coast to the West Coast, North Dakota down to the South tip of Texas, where there's no walls. We'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.